So back in college, when companies used to come down to a campus for placements, nobody really had an idea as to what exactly each industry expects out of them. It was all very chaotic. Now, am I well prepared? Am I matching the industry standards? Everything was too chaotic, and we thought there was clearly a gap, and we needed to fill the missing piece. That's the reason why interviewstream.com was born. So what we do here is, we have two sets of, it's a platform where candidates can attend mock interviews. So we have two sets of people. Interviewers, who are basically professionals from different industries, from software developers to business analysts to serial entrepreneurs, everybody. And on the other side, we have interviewees who are typically the job-seeking candidates. So an interviewer can register, and a professional can register on our site as an interviewer. Say if you're working at Microsoft, you can register yourself as an interviewer and specify your domain, saying, I'm good at data structures, algorithms, and computer science, and I can conduct mock interviews in these particular domains. And a candidate who wishes to get himself trained, he has a particular type of interview coming up next week, can search for these tags. So you can either search for a type of company, or you can either search for different types of domains. And he gets a list of interviewers who match his search query, and he can apply to anybody for a mock interview on a time that's convenient to both of them. And the interview happens over the telephone or VoIP, again, depending upon the convenience to both these guys. So the revenue model is pretty clear. For every interview session, the candidate pays X, and for every interview that professionals sitting here are going to take, you get Y, and X minus Y goes to my pocket. So that's about the pitch. I wanted to throw it up for questions so that we do more interactive.
Typically, don't you think that it is hard to get money out of the candidate?
So why do you think? I don't think it's hard. I mean, say why do you think it's hard?
Well, I have experience with students, right? To get money paid out of them, it's really difficult.
So yeah, we do experience that. But how I view this as something like, so typically on the site we charge about 300 to 350 rupees for an interview. That's like about 10 cigarette packets, which he spends about like 2-3 days. So the point is, he has money. Now, if your pitch and the value that you provide is good, he's going to pay. The point is not that he doesn't have money. He does have. You go to a restaurant. So that's the way I look at it. Of course, it's not so easy to convince them. So this is not our only service. We have a few other free services that a student can use. For example, we have built a test platform where he can prepare for written tests. So he can click on Infosys and he gets like a set of 30 questions that he could prepare. So all the things that takes him to get a job. So we have services built around that also to generate leads. So
how many companies and how many students have signed up?
So there are about like 140 professionals have signed up and 400 candidates, 400 students.
Across sectors and only?
Typically, majority 70% is from software, because probably I'm too much of a software guy. But we look to expand into more different sectors.
So how would you ensure the quality of an interview? Because he's getting money, right? So just about anyone can go and do this.
Yeah. So the interviewer process is not too simple. It's simple, but in a sense, once you register, you're supposed to give us some kind of an authentication by you can give your LinkedIn profile or ask somebody who can refer your credentials, something like that, so that we know that okay, you belong to this, or you have the you have the authority to take an interview. So it's just not a plain sign up. A plain sign up will just get you into the state. But if you want to take interviews, just give us a little details.
What if one of your students is not, that is the interviewee is not convinced with the interviewer after he takes the interview?
Till now, about 28 interviews have happened, to be precise. Honestly speaking, none of them have been like that. But if we get a case, we definitely refund.
Well, your organization or your startup would be cyclic, because interviews happen, typically campus interviews happen only at certain period, let's say 6 months of the whole year. So
that again varies. For example, the IITs and the BITS Pilani, the IITs typically start only in December. The BITS Pilani type of campuses have 2 rounds of placements where they have 4 months in this thing and 4 months in another semester. And this is just a start. We want this interview street to be a generic platform where you can take any type of interviews in the future. Not only restricted to this. For example, a guy who wants to enter into IMB, if he gets a call from IMB, he could actually take a mock interview with a guy who's already in IM or who was passed out. So we want, looking at a vision, we want this to be a very generic platform where you can take any type of interview that you want. We're just starting off with creating a niche with respect to college, segment and the interviewers. So that's the start.
How do you see competition with some of these online certification portals like Brainbench and things like that?
Yeah. So Brainbench is definitely there, but the thing is we don't want like an official stamp. I'm a Microsoft certified professional. I'm a CCNA. Personally speaking, I really don't have that much of. I really don't attach too much importance to that because it's just like mug up some 3-4 chapters and you can get your certificate. This is real time feedback that you get. Dude, you're standing here and this is what the industry expects you of getting through. So this is not some kind of a certificate, but this is you. If you want to grow yourself, if you want to improve, just take this. So that's the way I'm looking.
What is the mode of interview?
Pardon?
Mode of interview.
The mode of interviews over the telephone or VoIP.
With the other physical places, face-to-face interviews.
No, it's over the telephone because physical right now we're not planning, at least not in the next 6 months. We don't have it in the roadmap. But the thing is, I want the candidates to have an access to people all across India. I mean, Microsoft is in Hyderabad, something is in Delhi, something is in this thing, and if they want to take travel, logistics is going to be tough. So it's going to be over the phone or through VoIP if the college has enough bandwidth to support it.
Because body language plays a vital role in interview.
True. We will be fixing that soon.
Yeah, so typically there is a mismatch between what industry professionals think that a candidate in campus is interview and what actually when a company goes to campus does. For example, if I'm working for Microsoft, right, I would want a candidate to be in a certain way in data structures. But as an HR going to Microsoft, as an HR from Microsoft going to say NIT Trichy, right, they typically give a different sort. So there may be differences in what the perception of the professional is and what actually happens. So how are you going to bridge both?
So the idea here is pretty clear. So whatever is going to be, Microsoft has a particular bar. I'm just like taking an example. If you're not going to meet the bar, you're not going to get through. They have a bar. Every company will have a bar. Now, if you're not going to meet this bar, you're not going to get past this. Now, is the candidate really up to the bar? And what does he take to get to this and pass this? Every interviewer, in fact, so I worked for a year in Amazon. Every interviewer has his own style of questions. I had a separate style of questions. He had a separate style of questions. Everything would be different. But when you collate together, you see, okay, now this question is in this bar, and has he met that? It's not about the question. It's about are you able to get to that? It's not about giving out questions. It's about are you able to think in that way? Are you able to get past that? That's the main idea. I'm pretty sure Microsoft will have if they're going to hire developers at a college X and a college Y, they're going to have the same kind of bar.
But that may not be known to the industry professional, right? So if I am working at Microsoft 5 years, right, I have a typical expectation of students should be, and that will be very radically different from what the HR policy for campus recruitment is, right?
I'm sorry.
No, suppose I am from Microsoft and I have an expectation of how a student should be. That will be radically different from what Microsoft policy and what
You mean expectation of a student. But whatever it is, you will not be able to hire a guy if he's not going to meet the bar Microsoft has prescribed to you. However smart, whatever it is. I mean, you might think he's smart, but Microsoft policy says no. If he's not answering this question, which is of this particular bar, even if you think you're smart, he's not going to get it. So